morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be a spicy one. We have Rising Star group stage matches tonight. Only 2 matches though on the docket. Only 2 series being played. I'll give you a look at the 4 teams that are going to be involved. St. Cloud Flyers, Rochester Rhythm, Senators, Miracles. Flyers secured the 1 seed, Rhythm 2, Senators 3, Miracles 4. We start off with the St. Cloud Flyers taking on the Minneapolis Miracles in group stage match 1. Rhythm Senators after that. So only 2 matches, and then off stream those 4 teams are going to play again with different matchups. But before that, you see that it says special surprise at 5:30. By the way, I am Stewie. Joined alongside me is Mr. Wolf, and you can see we are just children in our pictures. But I especially like Mr. Wolf's because he's got money. But I have chocolate and syrup and yeah. But the first thing that I want to show off, obviously you guys have seen this intro screen. It is beautiful. And that is only part of it, but that will be now be our intro screen for stream, and it will pretty much take up, most of the screen because it's just pretty to look at, to be honest. You got the MNCS logo there, but all done in the hype chamber like usual. And obviously you guys have seen other angles of the hype chamber, specifically this one that is very pretty to look at as well, which has the MNCS logo as well. But the cool thing is that the hype chamber has the ability to, you can edit pretty much anything in it, and you can change the logos. You can change even the top part where you guys see, where it says Season 6 Minnesota Championship Series on the bottom and the top. But yeah, you can edit just about everything as far as this thing goes. You can edit the tunnel lights even. You see how it even has a semi-red, I don't want to say a red side, but a technical red and blue side. But it is wonderful to look at. I will say that. It is probably, it's so much fun to edit with, but it isn't fun to render with, that's for sure, because all these beautiful things that you're looking at take up a lot. But one thing that I will say that we also have added is in RLCS, you see winner screens at the end, and that also is something as well that you will see. You will see team, and there's the first team screen is the St. Cloud Flyers. Obviously, if they win any game tonight at 6 p.m., so we've got 25 minutes before we're going to see that screen. But if they win any game tonight, you will see that screen, and if the Miracles win any game, you will see that screen. And the colors for that are absolutely beautiful. And it honestly was quite beautiful to look at, to be honest. It's one of my, I don't want to say one of the babies, but the decal didn't take too long, but I didn't have many people send me their custom decals, but some people did. Some did send in, the Flyers one is not. This one is I made myself. The Miracles one, they do have a Miracles decal, but Stowe never sent me the UV map, so. But yeah, I have a winner's screen for every single one. And every single team in the entire league is completed, but I'm currently working on other screens as well, specifically the kind of closer up screen that you saw. I do have one done I actually have 3 done. What am I saying? I have 3 done for the Atlas, the Inferno, and the Lumberjacks, but I'll give you the Atlas one now. It looks very pretty. It is pretty much the same as what you saw with the MNCS version of this, and I can do it for every single team, but the problem is rendering does take quite a bit of time. It's about a 5 to 10 minute render each time, and you figure with 12 teams, it's going to take me about at least an hour just to render. And then because out of the hype chamber, they do come out as MOV files, and if you're familiar with movie files at all, you know that they are absolutely massive, and they're 5 gigs, and you don't want to be using that in OBS because, well, if you're using that in OBS, it pretty much is just going to crash your computer. Your computer really can't run it as well unless you have an absolute beast. But still, Mr. Grape Wolf, your thoughts on any of these?
You've done over the top. I don't think this is definitely the best that MNCS has seen in terms of the broadcasting side of things. I'm not like inclined and smart enough to deal and create some of these things for like the MNCS teams and such, but it should be a great addition. It is so clean. I'm very jealous, and I'm very thankful that we have you putting all this like extra free time, all your extra free time into making this so freaking cool. It's just like it's fun to make too, because like when you finally put all the time in, and when you finally do end up showing it off like this, it's just warms the heart, because you put all this time into something, and then you finally see it in the actual Unreal Engine itself, and it just looks incredible. Like, I can't like say it enough. Like, I may even redesign the MNCS decal. If somebody in chat right now has a better MNCS decal and you have the UV map, do you know what a UV map is? It's a PNG file that pretty much has like the parts of the car on it. If you have that and you want to make an MNCS decal, I will happily take it. Or any of, if you're on a roster and you want to replace one of the decals, like, for example, the Burnsville Inferno, which I'll show you now. This is one of my favorites. This is a very, very, like, it was tough because if you look at the Inferno logo, it's got like 5 or 6 different colors on it. And it's tough to pick a base color that's not like pink. But, yeah, I just like this one the most, probably. Even though I'm not on the Burnsville Inferno, it's still a very, very beautiful thing to look at. So, yeah, I'll let you guys take that. I'll just let you guys take that in, because it is tremendous. That is for sure. But yeah, I have unfortunately I don't have an overlay though. But I will say that the overlay is not being nice today, so we will have to use the backup overlay for matches, but we will still have all of this for pregame, postgame, whatever you guys want. I can even give you the Lumberjacks version of it too. Lumberjacks version looks incredible. I currently have 3 out of the 12 teams done for this screen itself, for this rotation. But as far as the winner screens, those are all done. So at LAN, you're going to see if the Burnsville Inferno win a match, if the Lumberjacks win a match in the series, you'll see this afterwards. I'll bring the files with me, make sure to give them to who's ever streaming at LAN. It's more than likely me or Tibbles, one of the two. But yeah, and if you notice on the side of the Lumberjacks decal, it has the original Bemidji Lumberjacks logo that was designed. And it's certainly come a long way as you rotate around to the front of the car. Hope I didn't underwhelm anybody with the surprise, but yeah, you've got, winner screens, blue, orange, both. Doesn't matter. I have them both, and it should be a blast, definitely. Mr. Grape Wolf, are you Hello.
I mean, I'm ready for I'm ready for matches to start, but I just wanted to give you guys this. I just wanted to show this, and it looks unbelievable, that's for sure.
Definitely a W flex. You know, I don't think there's any wrongdoing here. I think I'd be surprised if anybody doesn't think they look, you know, clean and abstract and I don't know, just satisfying. It's so clean to look at. Similarity be like from the RLCS and their broadcast team and stuff like that. It's just a gift to have. You know, I'm seeing it kind of develop over some other leagues, but definitely this is going to be a
tremendous
big step in the right direction for MNCS.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just glad that we're moving forward. We're taking steps forward to improve this broadcast because it's always a blast. There's there's even a wider angle that I can get to of not necessarily this, but you can get an even wider angle of this shot, which is the intro screen. So this can go actually even wider. But yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy this, and I will go ahead and actually leave this not right now on the screen, but yeah, I'll go ahead and show the schedule for you guys once again. The special surprise has been revealed, and I'm hoping each team will want to win their matches in their series even more now, because then then their decal will be shown on stream and their winner's screen will be shown as well. But yeah, Flyers and Miracles were actually ahead of schedule for once. This is incredible for me to say, but we're actually ahead of schedule for once. Their group stage match number 1, and you'll notice that they're the 1 and the 4 seeds on the sheet, and the 2 and the 3 play after that, and then I believe it is off stream. I have it right here. Off stream, it is the Senators and the Flyers at 7:30, and the Miracles and Rochester at 7:30. So essentially, we're playing round robin style. So everybody plays once, and these standings will maybe be the same. You never know, because St. Cloud could possibly not win all their games, but they went 16-0, so there's more than likely a chance that they at least win one. But it's round robin format, like I said, so it'll be a one team will be 3-0, one will be 2-1, one will be 1-2, and one will be 0-3, or we could have a tie for 2-1 if the a team that is in the 3rd seed, I believe, wins more than one game. But yeah, it should be fun. We've got about 15 minutes till that match starts, so I'm gonna leave you guys with this screen and give you guys a bit of a countdown for that. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for joining us for this 15 minutes before the stream, and we will see you at 6 p.m. when the first match will begin.
Swirl.
still think of you. Those days are gone. I wonder if you still think of me too. I still think of you. I still think of you. Those days are gone. I wonder if you still think of me too. I still think of you.
They screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here, now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here, now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here, now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
Waiting for the flag to fall. Here, now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here, now, this is the moment. too many times to find the peace missing with you. Did we take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now? Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Minnesota Championship Series Season 6 Group Stage Rising Star Evening. Only 2 matches on the docket. Stewie joined alongside by Mr. Wolf himself. And me and him will be facing off tomorrow night. But for tonight, Rising Star Group Stage, we already unveiled the special surprise. Bunch of hype chamber angles for you guys. And Flyers Miracles up next. Mr. Great Wolf, your thoughts going into this series?
Well, there's definitely interesting to see what roster the Miracles filled today, because I know that one of the Miracles players can't make LAN, and so I'd assume that they would want to have, you know, their roster that's playing at LAN, you know, play in these group stage matches to best prepare themselves for this match. I think even if I'm looking at the full, so does that mean Blaudat is subbing? I mean, he's definitely a capable sub. He took my team to Game 5 against the Flyers when we played them late in the regular season. So
It's still huge.
definitely not a player to look down on. But yeah, I feel like the Miracles will probably have a sub. It's very likely going to be Stero. We're trying to reach out to Zero Vibes and have him come back, because we need a player to play at LAN for the Miracles, and that could be a great final season for him if he's able to make LAN. So that's kind of where the Miracles are sitting right now. The Flyers, though, you know, even though they are without, so they're without Lord, correct?
They are without Lord, I'm pretty sure, for... I don't remember what... Well, they have Blaudat, but I don't remember how long Lord is gone for. I don't know if he's coming back for LAN. He might be, but that's a huge hit. This team could be the ending team for Flyers Rising Star. It's very possible. Unless Lord shows up, but it's still a very good team. You've got Forges Lonkers, 2 staples in Rising Star all season long. They're 16-0. Looking for 17. I mean, we technically don't count, you know, postseason wins towards regular season wins, but still, if you're 16-0, your confidence is literally through the roof.
Yeah, they are trying to pull what the Rochester Rift did back in season 3 with PC Chaotic and Mr. Dicey. So, I mean, I believe that team was 18-0, but I mean, still, it was 16-0. This 16 matches total this season, so the Flyers doing the best that they've ever done in the regular season, I believe. Unless, like, some Season 1, Season 2 statistic can prove me wrong. Don't recall any of those, though, for St. Cloud. So this is definitely the strongest, I'd say the strongest team in Rising Star right now.
I'd say they're the strongest team ever. I mean, with players with this season that we talked about so much, that players just got pushed down. Players who were in Challenger and who were very successful in Challenger, team, you know,
Lord himself was not exactly not successful in Challenger. He was moved up to Premier last season, and that his Premier team didn't necessarily do unbelievably well, but you know, they still were very good, and he was the first person to take my ass and hand it to me. So, you know, he pretty much destroyed me my first match. But yeah, it's just unfortunate because so many players are moved down and so many players are undervalued, and they're now in Rising Star or Prospect possibly. But the Miracles have joined up, and I'm excited to get this match up underway. Group stage match number 1, and these matches do matter technically for your final standings for LAN, and it determines pretty much who you play in those series in semifinal match number 1 and 2. But you're pretty much gonna have to beat everyone regardless, and best of 5 to start us off. And I actually hit that on accident. I apologize for that.
Well, you have to think about it. Coming into this match, they don't have Ren, and I feel like that hints at Ren not being able to make LAN. I still don't know who out of this team is not making LAN, but Ren was the key factor in them getting into the position where they are now, in that play-in bracket, in that best of 7. Ren came up huge for Minneapolis, and to not have a player like that, he's definitely one of the players that could have easily gone Challenger, but found himself in Rising Star. And it'll definitely be interesting to see, you know, who it's like the same question, who out of Minneapolis is making LAN, because I feel like that's missing Ren is a huge asset in your team.
Yeah, it really is. Like, you know, RevoX and Dark Courier have been pretty good all season, as Dark Courier is going to hit the open net and give the Miracles a 1-0 lead. As Revo kind of missed an open opportunity there, bumps on the back line, forced Forza to turn into his net, and a save doesn't come in. But the Flyers have not been beaten in the regular season. They've barely been taken to Game 5. It did happen a couple of times, but most of their on-stream series were 3-0s. And that's the reason why, is they just capitalize on mistakes.
Yeah, Bloodad here, sending this one to the backboard. Dark Courier got a pretty good first touch, but when he had jumped, his car wasn't exactly perched upwards, and so he carried all of that momentum towards the side and towards the ground, so he wasn't able to get back up to the ball. And you know, when you lose possession at this level of play, the other team is going to score, and that's exactly what they did.
9 times out of 10, they're going to put the ball into the back of the net. They're going to find some way to finish it off and capitalize this. Forza is going to finish it off and capitalize on a Miracles mistake again, as Blah was chasing the bump, and that is a beautiful shot from the corner. That's a very tight angle to hit, but you figure with the 16-0 team, they're going to hit every single opportunity that you give them.
And Bloodad
On the kickoff!
kickoff chance, though. They're going to be able to get it away as it goes off the backboard. Forza is able to follow this one up. No boost, though. You know, Bloodad leading the punch there. He forced Dark Courier to one side. Forza looks for the redirect. Maybe back down to his teammate. But yeah, already the physicality showing big for St. Cloud. Bloodad's going to take a decent shot on it, but Stero is going to block him. Schlonker's trying to get the ball moving a bit towards the other side. Bloodad looking for the sidewall. He's able to get another touch as well. Darrow and Dark Courier both go missing. It's a free backboard. Where's the St. Cloud player? There he is. Schlunkers will score to give St. Cloud a 2-goal lead.
Massive. 2:50 to go in this first game. Game 1 of group stage match number 1 for both of these teams. They'll, like I said, you'll play 3 total series, round robin style, so you're gonna play everyone in your group. So a win here to start off your, you know, pretty much first weekend of 2. Obviously next weekend is LAN, and you'll play your final group stage match on LAN, and that will also be streamed there. But these first 2 series for your
group stage are on stream, but unfortunately all online. And to start off winning is definitely something that you want to look for, as physicality from the Flyers continues to play a factor. As Revo wins the challenge, demo from Blah on Dark Courier, and a double demo will give Force an opportunity, but Dark Courier spawns ball side and will turn and make the touch. But the Miracles seemed very, very unorganized in their end, as demos are going to create a bunch of confusion.
Yeah. I'm getting word from the St. Cloud general manager, Mr. Prussia, that Blaudat is 8-0 when playing in Rising Star.
Oh boy.
I mean, of course they are undefeated, but he's played in half the matches.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, that's big in terms of, like, you know, late season kind of fondling around your roster. Of course, Lord likely not being able to play. You know, even if he is, any one of these players, I still think you have that deserved 16-0 team. So it's just a huge. There's just so much. It's just the depth is beyond deep for the St. Cloud team, and it's really showing here when they have a sub come in and are able to go 8-0 in the series and on the season.
Yeah, and that's huge that you bring that up, because, like you said, that's half the matches. So, I mean, he's played for 50% of the season and subbed up for 50% of the season, and they, like you said, they're still 16-0. So I just think that Forza and Slonkers, these two, as just, you know, foundation stepping stones for this roster, are just too good in their own right to be taken down. And you're seeing it here as they're just controlling the ball in their back corners and the back end, that they don't really have to worry about the Miracles putting on any threatening, because I don't have the boost to do it. And the Flyers, one thing I will say is they're one of the best teams in the game at managing their boost, and they don't throw the ball away a lot either. But it is Rising Star, so, you know, teams do tend to throw the ball a bit more, but you'll see a lot of challenges, that's for sure, as time ticks away in game one, and the Flyers are going to be the first MNCS team to be in the winner's screen.
Yeah, and I mean, just solid gameplay from the Flyers. The Miracles had some awkward moments on defense that led to at least a goal. But on top of that, you know, it just seemed like whenever the Flyers controlled the game, when they controlled that pressure on offense, it really made the Miracles scramble on defense quite a bit and make it so that their transition wasn't very clean and thorough at all. And so that's going to allow the Flyers to, you know, continue to pour shot after shot on net. They go 3 for 7, and the Miracles shooting 1 for 5. Revo with 4 of their 5 shots. So we're going to have to see some more looks for the Miracles on offense, as well as some better boost management. They can't let the Flyers just, you know, pick and choose what boost they get.
Yeah. You bring up pick and choose. They're pretty much just picking their poison. The Flyers can steal whatever boost they want. They can take whatever, you know, challenge they want. But game number 2, Flyers up 1-0, and I have to give them a tick. I forgot about that. I apologize. But there you go. The Flyers are up 1-0 in this series, and they look to make it a 1-goal lead right away, as they got pressure, as Blaudat will try to make that redirect, but not gonna happen. But they're holding pressure, and these challenges, like I said, you're gonna see a lot of challenges in Rising Star, and the Flyers win about 99% of them. They rarely do you see a Flyers player losing a 50-50, and they're a little bit disconjungled in their front of their net. Stero's shot is gonna be saved by Forza to his corner, as Slonkers will collect. Long clears, not really downfield. Reaver X gonna put pressure on Forza. He makes the save to the sidewall. And under pressure right now are the Flyers, who look to pinch out of their end.
Yeah, and look for Force to the top right. It's gonna force Revo and Dark Courier to jump at that one, and another double commit. Stair's gonna land on the ball though. These awkward moments for Minneapolis, you know, eventually they're gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt them, but right now, you know, the unpredictability factor. When you're just kind of landing on the ball that your teammate put out, kind of on accident, is gonna throw off the defense of St. Cloud, just maybe. But you know, as the series goes on, you know, St. Cloud, one of the very few teams in Rising Star, and they're definitely the best at it, at moving the ball as a team. It seems like every time they have the ball, they have a purpose with the ball. There's so many times where you see players throw away the ball and not have an intentional touch. And well, Stero to the left side there. That was a nice pass, but Dark Courier is not able to put another shot on. But it's just being ahead of the game for St. Cloud. They're able to look for those transitions immediately. They have somebody upfield already anticipating the pass, and that's just next level, you know. Even some of the best challenger teams are not as well suited in having that, you know, perfect ball movement. However, it is down a league, so there might be some differences. They have an open net though. Wait, was that going in?
I do not know, and we will not find out, as the ball is going to be reverse field. Schlonker's trying to fall into it. 2 off the backboard, both players miss. Huge miss from the Flyers. 2 players commit, and no one makes contact.
And I don't know, man. It seems like they went from saving their own free net to missing both players missing on the backboard. And then, of course, the third challenging earlier. So St. Cloud making a mistake, and the Miracles in a much-needed goal. They're able to capitalize on it, but, you know, I don't think you're going to be able to rely on St. Cloud making, you know, the same mistakes again, as that's going to go off the backboard. Dark Courier's going to miss. Bloodhat shot. Revo is going to control this one, and Schlonker's big 50 Forza is going to follow it. He touches it forward. Stero and Revo a bit awkward, but it's going to set up Dark Courier for a big touch out. Bloodhat is able to get a touch into safety, though. Now we see Miracles with a 1-goal lead and back on offense.
They're pressing. They are. Shot from Dark Courier, far post. Not in. Revo wins the challenge. Into the corner goes Forza. But Stero's touch will go to the sidewall. Dark Courier going to have to retreat back as Forza collects midfield. Tries to go under one, but Dark Courier doesn't fall for the tricks. Ball into the sidewall. Gets the infield pass. But Bloodhat slams the door. As look at this team play from the Flyers starting to develop. We talked about their ability to find each other. Follow-up shot is blocked by Dark Courier. And what a statement it would be for the Miracles to even up this series and possibly take it and shut down a team that's unbeaten. Slonkers off the backboard. I don't know if that was going in. I think they saved their own shot. Bloodhat for 2, far post. Flyers tie the game.
It doesn't matter. Might have been another save.
It's a nice shot.
But yeah, Bloodhat coming up huge with a double, just is able to control his car well in the air. And you know, it just seems like whenever we see the moments like those, it just seems like St. Cloud is in a league of their own. Stero and Revo gonna commit for a save there. Forza off the backboard. Bloodhat looking for more. Slow shot is able to get it past the defense. The St. Cloud Flyers will have a 1-goal lead here with a minute left in game 2.
They're just killers. They're just killers. The IQ to not slam that on net and to wait, because you see the player on the backboard, you know that, hey, he's not going to save it because I'm going to shoot it right here. Off the kickoff, they make it a 2-goal lead. This team is just too good to deal with. The Miracles had a great 4 minutes, and then we got to the final minute, and it all kind of fell apart. They're down 2 with 51, but the game's not over with. And if you're on the Flyers side, you pretty much think it is over because you are firing on all cylinders right now. And 8-0 with your sub, possibly about to be 9, as Revo collects, tries to go by Bloodhat, but not going to happen. Ball off the backboard again, and it's saved. As the Flyers work out of their end, Schlonker's long clear puts Revo in a tough spot. As Revo's had a pretty good series, so is Dark Courier, but Stero has been the missing link and been a bit quiet this series. Hasn't really produced much for his franchise. As it's just jumping around the map. 15 seconds, Revo up for Dark Courier, but Bloodhat stands in the way, and Schlonker's going to waste time. Time ticks away for the Flyers as they look to go 2-0 up in this series.
Yeah, and the Flyers, you know, they start
They're gonna get
off,
one for the road.
and they will get another goal here for everyone to have a goal in this game for the St. Cloud Flyers. It really seemed like the Flyers, you know, it was a complete fluke that they let the Miracles score in the first place. And I mean, they took that, they were able to score, and of course we see them have that one offensive drive where they move the ball fluently to each other, and they're able to break apart that Miracles defense, and then of course they're able to score. But on top of that, the Miracles didn't get any luck too. It just seemed like the mistake that they had earlier was just replenished by the kickoff goal that they were given to go from a 1-goal lead to a 2-goal lead with 50 seconds left. And then of course, you know, the Flyers score at the end. They tally 14 shots to the 7 of the Miracles. The Flyers right now looking like they're gonna sweep this series.
And like I said, what it would be to start off your group stage with a 3-0 sweep with a victory itself is just useful because, you know, you're starting off strong. You got pretty much, you beaten everybody in the league twice, and well, not everybody twice, but you understand what I'm saying. You beaten everybody, and it's your confidence could not be higher. It's at an all-time high, and you figure you can't be stopped. And what it would be to start off with a 3-0 sweep with a 1-0 lead in the standings, and to hand the Miracles a loss and not really have to worry about them until the final bracket, as Forza looks to get a reset. His shot not going to be on target, or will be saved rather, as Schlonkers gets 2 off the sidewall. And these Miracles, these Flyers players are so good at doubling up the ball on any part of the field, as Courier's going to make that save, as Stero looks to long clear, and he will.
Yeah, he had time there, but the clear is gonna actually go to Bloodat, who gets a great first touch, goes for 2, and will score and give the St. Cloud Flyers another lead in this series.
He just can't be stopped. He didn't even have to hit that. I'm sure that was going to fall in, but still a beautiful shot from the sub himself, from the super sub, as he has had a super sub performance for his team. 2 very, very beautiful shots in the last 2 games. Schlonkers with Forza in front. They play the lead blocker, but Revo Rex puts up the wall and makes the save, but that wall has been broken down a time or 2 by this Flyers players. This Stero out of his end will pass to their Courier, but they're just jumbled up and too unorganized to even have anything work, as Bloodat gets a reset, but not going to get anything out of it. Ball into the Miracles corner. Demo from Schlonkers will give them an opportunity. Stero doesn't make contact, and Dark Courier saves it, but the Miracles under a ton of pressure.
The Miracles had a 3v1 chance there, and they weren't able to capitalize on that, and they haven't seen, I don't think they've seen a 3v1 opportunity in this series yet. Stero's able to get the save. Bloodat shot to the right side. Here's a chance for Minneapolis. Stero looks for Dark Courier, but it's blocked by Schlonkers, and now Revo gonna try to keep it in, but that'll just go right to Bloodat. Stero gonna be behind this one, but Bloodat has so much boost to work with. It is going to dribble it towards Dark Courier and take the corner boost. Schlonkers is going to beat one. Stero is low back, an open net for Bloodat. He's not able to get around it though, but he's still, you know, even though he misses that, he forces 2 Minneapolis players with low boost to commit out of net.
Ball midfield for Schlonkers, and Forza saved it himself. He figures he's got to play defense for the other team because they can't stop him. In the corner as Schlonkers clears out. Blotted up quickly, but Stero beats him to the punch. Schlonkers, long clear downfield, looking for Blotted. Redirect is there. It's far post, but the Flyers playing a little fancy right now, trying for some clean shots. That's for sure, some clean passing plays, but the Miracles trying to work out of their end, and they seem to have no boost every single time they do it, and the unorganization continues to shoot them in the foot. Slonker's gonna try and wait out Revo, but Revo doesn't fall for it. Courier misses the ball. Revo just hits the ball to midfield, and Stero is last back once again.
Does keep it in, but you know, I feel like against the St. Cloud team, giving away ball possession and trying to make yourself make your way out of defense with clears just doesn't work because of how well St. Cloud controls the ball and how they are able to get it to each other. Forza shot to the right side. Dark Courier is able to get the save. But, you know, we see these clears from the Minneapolis Miracles to, you know, to get boosts to reorganize. But in the end, it doesn't matter because the St. Cloud Flyers, right when you go into that brief moment of getting reorganized and getting boost again, they're back on offense with a fully set up play, and it's pretty much in your net.
Oh.
Stero, though, is able to score a wide open net here. St. Cloud caught over position.
A good shot. He catches the St. Cloud defense, and that's not something you're going to see often. Stero, the GM, stepping up for the Miracles, will give them a tie game and a chance in Game 3, but down 2-0 in the best of 5. All group stage matches are best of 5s, and then to semifinals we go. It will be best of 7s from there on out at LAN, but that LAN group stage match is always a doozy. We've seen many reverse sweeps in those matches. If you and I can recall more than one ourselves, then there's definitely more than just the ones that we're talking about. But that was before we were talking before streaming about that. But yeah, these group stage matches are always fun to watch because teams are still making mistakes like that.
Yeah, it seemed like Forza, you know, he's low boost. He definitely wanted to catch it. But he had slowed down his momentum. And you know, when you have low boost and you slow down your momentum, you can't pick up that momentum at the same pace you were going. And so a bit of a blunder there for St. Cloud. And now Minneapolis, we're going to have to see if they can take advantage of it. They got 50 seconds. But I wouldn't be surprised to see St. Cloud respond here. You know, despite all these mistakes they're having, their offense still looks super, super strong, and that hasn't gone away.
Yeah. Courier with 34 plays to the corner, but shot doesn't come in. Flyers running out of time here in Game 3, down 2-1. Infield pass for Forza. He drops it in, and the 50 gonna go Bloodout's way. He's gonna tie the game.
And all they needed was a chance. Bloodout gets it over one. They've got nobody on the backboard. Forza gets a touchdown, and Revo would have had the save, but Bloodout, you know, he's grounded. He has more control over that 50, and it will just slowly roll its way in. A tie game here. In game number 3, Minneapolis need to win if they want to have a chance to stay in the series, but they need a goal.
Yes, they do. Infield pass. Forza misses the ball. Slonkers was waiting. Dark Courier going to chase Slonkers and bump him, but Revo waits on it. Shots on target. Bloodout makes that save. Stero keeps it up with no time. It will drop overtime in Game 3. Can the Flyers put this series to bed in 3 and give us a very quick match to start off the evening? As Dark Courier will lose that challenge. Revo is up. Looks for 2 off the ceiling. Will try and drop it in, but Slonkers meets him there. Stero doesn't make contact like he wanted. Dark Courier's shot goes off the backboard, and a stop on the goal line from the Flyers is not even needed as Forza collects. We'll try and get over Stero. Won't fall for it. Bloodout off the backboard, and this is where it gets scary because you've got Flyers players in the air. And their shooting is one thing that I have to say is at least challenger level. Their ability to pass the ball off the backboard and read it off the backboard is just uncanny, as the Miracles are going to escape there.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna go back to talking about, you know, their boost management. You see, I believe it was Schlonkers there. He was all the way back, and he had grabbed so many pads, just not rushing anything. I feel like the Miracles right now, they're rushing into the play, not necessarily taking it slow with time to grab boost. Double commit though, but Stero's not able to get the best pop. But then, of course, after he had grabbed the pads, Schlonker was able to get a really good shot opportunity. Unfortunately, he hit the bar. But here's a chance for Revo, but Schlonkers is there once again, and now Dark Courier gonna pop it down to Stero. He shoots it to the backboard. Oh, it's off of Schlonkers. And of course, that's how the Miracles take the first game in this series for them.
Well, they're going to be on the winner's screen for now, as they will take game number 3 and move this series to a 2-1 scoreline. And somehow they win that game with Stero getting it, but it's just... you really can't describe Rocket League any other better than that. Any other way than that, you know? Just a screw up on the goal line, and it just ends up being an own goal. It's just, but yeah, 2-1, and the Miracles are not out of the series yet, but with how well St. Cloud controlled that game, I have a feeling that they are not going to lose game 4 if they tighten up.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 2 big mistakes from the Flyers that, you know, we saw one, I believe, in game 1 or 2 earlier, and, you know, that kind of just went away. But this game, they made 2 big mistakes that led to the Miracles scoring most of their goals. I mean, the Flyers had 15 shots, and last game they had 14, I believe. And so, you know, this is a consistent pattern of the Flyers getting exactly what they want. They just have to put some of these chances more in the back of the net. They need to just be more efficient, because they're getting plenty of chances, and Schlonkers off the kickoff is going to score.
So quick. Plata wins that. Courier gets caught. Revo on the goal line doesn't make the save. Too much pace. As Schlonkers will give the Flyers a 1-0 lead. They're up 2-1 in the series. They don't really need to go to game 5 if they can close it out here, but Demo from Dark Courier will put pressure on Revo Rex as he makes that touch. Dark Courier goes missing. As Forza slams it off the backboard, and demo chasing is something we've been seeing a ton. Schlonkers midfield, Dark Courier pop to the ceiling. Forza will get a reset, but it goes wide, and the Flyers are playing with their food at the moment. As the Miracles are struggling to deal with all this pressure, Schlonkers off the backboard won't get anything out of it, as the ball will just go into the Miracles corner again. Forza tries for the angle, but Revo makes that save to the side wall. Schlonkers back into the Miracles end, and they're just double committing now, trying to get a touch on the ball.
Dark Courier does get it forward to Revo. If it bounces nicely, might be able to shoot it.
Ooh.
He will towards the right side. It does force 2 players from the Flyers to commit there, but Blada on the counter now. Him and Stero are just going to go back and forth for a bit of time there. Schlonkers touch will go forward. Revo gonna give space to Bladat. Bladat could have maybe pass that one mid. It looks like there's a rule 1 there in the corner. Forza reset, is able to get back to it. He does. Dark Courier is able to get the save. Now goes for boost, but Schlonkers now just waiting for him to give up that ball. I honestly think we should commentate the rule 1 and not the game.
Yeah, Bladat gonna have to deal with that. Stero on the goal line with a beautiful denial onto Slunker's shot, and here's where your 2's gameplay is going to be tested. Drop down pass for Stero, and Miracles don't score as the Forza and Schlonker's defense going to hold on. That ball not in the net as Revo and Bladat going to be broken up by Dark Courier.
They got to go back into it.
And we got to go back into the Rule 1 now. Could we have Revo Rex and Bladat return to the Rule 1? Thank you very much.
Part of the script.
It is. Revo side wall looks for the read, but Flyers players just jumping at the ball, trying to make that save. They're up 1, trying to close out game number 4.
Yeah. And
Ooh, that touch! Oh!
And Schlonker's almost that'd have actually been kind of bad if he got more power on that. As Forza looks forward, a little bit of a breezy there. Dark Courier gets a touch out, and Revo now gonna send it forward, but no Minneapolis player is really downfield. Bladat is gonna go missing. Revo pops it. Schlonkers though able to get a nice touch out. Stero into the midfield. Gonna force 2 players for St. Cloud to commit for that one. Oh, but Revo's not able to get it. And Forza back to Schlonkers. The ball goes into the hands of Bladat. Minneapolis need to start some sort of pressure, and I don't think a solo play against this St. Cloud Flyers team is going to be the answer.
I don't think so either. If you continue to attack this team one-on-one, they're just going to continue to punish you, and they're happily playing defense one-on-one. I talked about their shooting, and I will say shooting goes hand in hand with defense. Your ability to position your car correctly on offense and defense is something that you have to master, and these Flyers players are so good at it as they just continue to take one-on-ones as Forza works his way out. Will get over one, but doesn't have the boost to follow up. As Revo will collect, gets over two. Long clear puts on Slonkers. Slonkers own goals to give the Miracles their first goal.
Yep, and these games somehow always end up being close, and it seems like St. Cloud.
Sorry,
Just-
what?
It just seems like there's always one mistake in each of their games so far this series, and there's one there. You know, Schlonker's not able to recover for that one as Forza goes for the reset. Is gonna dribble it out to Schlonkers. You gotta be there for the culture, man. That was a great pass.
That's a beautiful play. Revo by one. Two players from the Flyers required to deny his chances. Dark Courier. Bad touch. Revo goes into the corner. Stero doesn't get that, and that's a very, very weird play that just came out from the Miracles. They somehow don't get an opportunity out of it. As Forza looks to challenge, but a long clear, booming clear from Dark Courier will shut down any attempt from the Flyers. Schlonkers back to the ball. Revo into the corner. Puts pressure, dunks blood at midfield. Dark Courier was waiting, but didn't get there in time. Long clear onto Stero. He misses that touch, but Forza will miss as well. That touch is going to go by blood. Revo Rex gives the Miracles a lead.
And 25 seconds left. Another chance there. Ooh, just Schlonkers taking off early, not knowing how fast that ball was going. He had to, adjust his car when it came off the ceiling like that, straight down. But the Miracles, they have a lead here with 20 seconds remaining. Schlonkers, though, what in the world is that? He gets his reset and then pinches it with it on the ground.
What? Oh, he got the... Oh!
Yeah.
That was a beautiful play. What a shot. Mr. Slonkers resets the ball and then, like you said, pinches it off the ground, but he times his landing perfectly, so, the ball does go off his car. Infield for Revo. He finds the corner and nails it. Miracles up one.
I thought 25 seconds was going to be not enough time for the Flyers to respond. They responded in 6 seconds. so I'm still optimistic for the Flyers to tie us up, but the Miracles with a huge immediate response as well. But the kickoff doesn't go in their favor. St. Cloud has had 2 kickoff goals go in their favor, and Minneapolis hasn't had one in their favor just yet. 3 seconds left. They're gonna have to keep it up, and it will drop. And so now, the Miracles, after it seemed like a fluke in the earlier game, St. Cloud, they might have fluked twice, and they still have 13 shots to their name. But here we are going into Game 5.
And, game number 5 on the docket. Are you kidding me? Of
3 for 2.
The Miracles going to force Champions Field, and I just couldn't expect this with how commanding the Flyers were in those first 2 games. They had everything under control. They had nothing to worry about in Game 3. They were playing with their food so much in Game 3. They did not care. They pretty much just said, we're going to save our own shots because you guys can't save them. And now in Game 3 and 4, they got beat. And it's Game 5, and this is unreal because, might I remind you, St. Cloud has not lost a series. And even with a sub, they haven't lost a series. So their test is now game number 5, Champions Field. They have not been here very often this season, especially on stream, so nerves could play a factor for the St. Cloud Flyers. Game 5, group stage match 1, Flyers Miracles tied at 2.
And the Flyers, I'm pretty sure they've had 13 plus shots in the last 3 games. In the last 3 games in a row for them. And for them to not be winning those games with that amount of pressure is crazy to me. And we're going to see the consistent pattern here. Dark Courier, it's awkward. Forza has to bail his teammate out, and will do. Darrow now to the backboard. Schlonkers, though, with a nice catch, rocking the French decal. Can vouch it does look very clean.
Yes.
Schlonkers to the corner. Is there a follow-up? Dark Courier is able to play it well, you know, even if there was a player there. Dark Courier played that, you know, very aggressively and was able to cover that pretty quickly.
Stero has appeared in this series. He's starting to hit the ball. He's starting to make an impact on the field. And he's made some key plays, some key saves. A key save in Game 4. Forza off the backboard, and a beautiful touch from Revo will bail the Miracles out for now, but they have to work with only 100 boosts for 2 players. Revo goes missing. Slonkers for Bloodout and Forza. A double commit, but Stero doesn't have anything in the tank to use as Dark Courier had it.
Oh boy.
Ball's gonna drop down, Bloodout open net, and the Flyers are up 1.
Yeah, and the Miracles needed Forza just to be off the ball. He was able to get it around 2, and then it pinches off of Dark Courier, and Revo can't react in time. But the St. Cloud Flyers, they were pushed into the Miracles' corner, not with the best ball control. The Miracles needed a some sort of transition play to start happening, and they couldn't find it. And somehow Forza, you know, was going across the field, is still
Ooh,
able to get
there it
back-to-back
is.
beats. But Stero is just gonna score off of. Let's see, Forza just a mistouch and Schlonkers no boost.
It was an
You know,
original
maybe-
double commit. It was a
Maybe
double
could
commit
have
from
pre-flipped into the bump, but that was your only play.
yeah. It was an original double commit from Forza and Slonkers out of that save, out of that long clear from Dark Courier, and then the touch came in from Revo, and Forza was unfortunately having to make that touch, and Stero was sitting midfield, and then Dark Courier continued after and found the demo. So opening up the play, bar down, Flyers don't score. Somehow the Miracles hang on as Forza goes for the infield pass, and that's one thing the Flyers are so good at, the posting the Miracles. Getting a miracle right now on defense. Bloodout makes
Oh,
one. Nate doesn't have the boost to get by though. Estero will not recover in time. Forza off the ceiling. Infield pass for Slonkers, and Dark Courier meets it again. Stero clears downfield. Bloodout will make that touch. Ball midfield for now with 2:44 to go. Forza doesn't get that touch. Miracles under a ton of pressure as Slonkers is last back. And you talk about the French decal. There are a bunch of new Federation decals that you can unlock because of the World Cup. So make sure to do those challenges and get your hands on those decals, because some of them are very pretty. There is a Portugal decal that I have been using quite a bit that is mwah, top of the pyramid. I will say that. It looks beautiful. It's a red and green, but
Wait, that's
long
in.
clear, that's in.
No,
It's on the
no,
post.
oh, it's not.
Doesn't read it, he does. Oh, and we got so excited for so quickly. Slonkers doesn't have it, he does. Stero misses that touch. Oh,
And Dark Courier just not able to turn sharp enough. You know, I think it was kind of risky for him to stay in the midfield there when they had nobody back through that back post. I mean, it was a risky play. You just had to somehow turn sharper. Forza looking for 2. Bloodat now going to keep it in. He's going to look for the double. Oh, it's a pass to Fours, and Schlonkers is just sitting in the net. For a second, I thought he was a defender because of his positioning.
he's like, hold on, I'll save it. Oh no, wait, I'll bump Dark Courier. Oh no, I'll save it. Never mind. It's 3-1. A minute 55 for the Minneapolis Miracles to create a miracle and answer back to tie up this game. But they have got their work cut out for them, that's for sure. Bloodout shot is blocked by Revo again. Revo clears long, but Forza was waiting, and the Flyers, you figure they're just going to sit in midfield and control the boost. Bloodout infield for Forza. He blocks his own teammate and gets the boost steal off the bump. Slonker's shot on Stero and a save again from the Miracles. Ball gonna pop up, but the clock is not done yet. The game's not over. Infield for Dark Courier, but Slonkers meets it quickly, knows the threat, understands the danger. Flyers defense being tested, but the Miracles right now are not putting on too threatening opportunities. Dark Courier will look for a Revo, but Forza in an awkward spot. Dark Courier looks for the shot, but Slonkers again has the clear, and Stero was in an awkward spot off of that. Double commit from the Miracles, and that is 4-1.
The Miracles, they got too panicky, and they've been playing kind of this whole series too fast for their own liking. and just some opportunities where you don't have to move the ball super fast. You can slow down your car, make things easier for you. And Miracles just didn't recognize that time. It just seemed like it was a rush. It was too much of a rush, and you know it really showed in this last game here. You know, St. Cloud had to make a bunch of blunders for the Miracles to even be in this game 5, and now of course we don't see St. Cloud make a bunch of mistakes, and here they are with a 3-goal lead.
Stero gonna look for the opportunity. 30 seconds, they're down 3. They gotta find something. Long clear for Badad, but he doesn't make the redirect. Forza backboard. 2 players from the Flyers go. Revo makes that save, but it is all but over for the Minneapolis Miracles, who are gonna lose in 5 games with the clock ticking away. Down 3, and what a good showing from them. The 4 seed with the lowest amount of points out of the 4 teams in the Rising Star group stage, and they took the number 1 team to 5 games. Will fall here, but still, nevertheless, a great showing from them.
Yeah, not a bad look for the Miracles. I mean, it definitely felt like the Flyers could have won this in 3 pretty easily, and then 4 pretty easily. And so, you know, we had to go to the final match in Game 5 of the series to have the Flyers win. But definitely, you know, if you have to lose, you know, losing in 5 is, in terms of points in this group stage,
It's good.
It'll help you quite a bit.
Yeah, and points do work like normal, so obviously this isn't updated yet, but the Flyers do have a 1 win. They do have their first win. The Miracles will take their first loss, but the Miracles do get 2 points out of it, and points do work the same, so it will determine your final seed depending on how many points you get out of your 3 series. But yeah, it was a good first series. It was a good start to the night, and that was only number 1. We've got a second one for you, and then these 4 teams will play off stream again at 7:30 for your guys's. If any of those players are streaming it, you more than likely can find it in the MNCS Discord. But yeah, Rhythm and Senators up next in group stage match number 2. And that should be a doozy because these 2 teams matched up, and it was a spicy series to watch. And it's going to be a good one because both of these teams are coming off of great play-ins. And, well, I believe the Senators are the other... The Senators and the Miracles, I believe, qualified through play-ins. Rhythm auto called, what am I saying? But still,
Yeah.
The Senators are coming off a great plan, and it's gonna be a good series, definitely. But we'll have that series in just a couple minutes. We gotta get the lobby set up for everybody else, but yeah, it'll be us 2 again for the next one. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will get that lobby set up in just a bit.
the color fades, and the pain erased. I wanna make it. I saw signs right before my eyes, but it took me time to care. No excuses, I'm feeling useless, 'cause you're not playing fair. We've been played by the hand we laid, knowing we will never win. Keep your turn as a lesson learned for the ending to begin. 'Cause it's settled in my mind, yeah, it's settled in my mind. 'Cause it's settled in my mind again. Yeah, it's settled in my mind, yeah, it's settled in my mind. 'Cause it's settled in my mind again. Things get old because we've been told that it shouldn't be this hard. You won't give because I won't take. We're conflicted from the start. 'Cause it's settled in my mind, yeah, it's settled in my mind. 'Cause it's settled in my mind again. Yeah, it's settled in my mind, yeah, it's settled in my mind. 'Cause it's settled in my mind again.
Cause it's settled in my mind, yeah, it's settled in my mind. Cause it's settled in my mind again. Yeah, it's settled in my mind. Cause it's settled in my mind. Cause it's settled in my mind again.
Cause it's settled in my mind, yeah, it's settled in my mind. 'Cause it's settled in my mind again. Yeah, it's settled in my mind, yeah, it's settled.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with the MN Championship Series Season number 6. It is the second matchup of the evening. St. Paul Senators taking on the Rochester Rhythm. Group stage match number 2. And it should be real good because these two teams matched up in the regular season and it was a dogfight. And I believe the Rhythm ended up taking it, but the Rhythm have been on a tear since they picked up End Blake Stern Pops for the Rochester Rhythm. St. Paul's Senators are Zilmi, Owen, and Trish. And Mr. Grape Wolf joined alongside me is Stewie. And Mr. Grape Wolf, how are you?
I am. I'm excited. These two teams are very strong, and I don't think it's going to be. You know, I think coming into the last match, we thought it was going to be one-sided, but it ended up going to 5. So, I mean, I'm looking at, you know, of course, Rochester didn't play in the play-ins because they had auto-qualified for LAN, but St. Paul did, and when they were playing in the play-ins, they were unstoppable. The St. Paul Senators, you know, they played a very strong Burnsville Inferno team that kind of came together out of nowhere, and they beat them in Game 5 to go to the the qualification match where they beat Bloomington, with the 1 game advantage 4-1. And so just an absolutely strong showing from the St. Paul Senators. And, one thing, I loved how St. Cloud was moving the ball, but I feel like the Senators also have kind of the same tendencies when it comes to finding outlets and finding each other. We're going to have to see if it's going to be the same with Rochester here, because this should be a tight series.
This is going to be a very quick series. Both of these teams very fast to the ball, good at challenging and good at controlling it as well. I got a chance to play with Pops in 6-mans, and he was looking good. So I'm excited to see this Rochester Rhythm team, who have been very good with the addition of Mr. End, as Blake is going to be met by Trish very quickly. Owen will get by one, but the Senators have been in plenty of series, had to deal with plenty of quick series where they were under a lot of pressure. Zelmi wins the challenge, and somehow it goes bar down and in, and the Rochester Rhythm are going to get caught.
Yeah, and here's just Blakester losing that first touch, not able to get back to it, and then kind of, don't know if the bump onto Zilmi impacted that at all, but definitely I'd say a bit of luck there, as that pop from Zilmi just went perfect placement. That's a great pass from End to Blakester. What a response.
So quick are the Rochester Rhythm. End to Blake and slammed to the mid part of the net, excuse me, and 1-1, excuse me. Rochester gonna even us up, make up for the mistake. Pops for Blake. Owen misses the touch, but Blake doesn't make contact as well. And we'll go into the midfield, and he's a player that we're more than likely going to see in Challenger next season. Will not be undervalued, as he's rocking a very beautiful decal, I will say that. Pops wins the challenge off the backboard, and is the follow-up. Gonna throw us into a bit of a cosmosis, as that's a 2-1 lead.
Pops with a huge challenge win, and Blakester was there too. He had just dodged to the side. Honestly, I can't tell if he was meaning to leave that for End or not, because I feel like that's something that Blakester would just go for and try to score. But Owen is able to get a nice interception there. However, Trish was not able to follow it immediately. Pops with this backboard defense, gonna give Blakester a free ball here. He will flick it away early. And now Trish gonna be the first to this one. He does slow down, not use any of his boost there.
Huge, a key play. Definitely. Sorry to cut you off. It's just such a key play, because you figure boost management is something that's going to be on the mind of all 6 of these players.
That's almost just in. It's definitely interesting because, he had decided not to boost when he likely could have beaten his defender and, done more with the ball. So definitely an interesting decision there. Blakester off the wall, not able to get much. And gonna try to stop Trish, but Owen now with the dribble. It should bounce down. Trish gonna be up for this one. Goes for the reset, but his touch is a bit too heavy, and now Blakester a bit awkward. Zilmi somehow lands on it and is able to pitch it mid. And now Trish now to the corner. Is there a follow? All 3 players of Rochester are going to miss, but Zilmi is going to keep it in. He's no boost though. He's given a lot of space though. And here Zilmi's just going to pancake flop onto the goal line there. And just a bit of an awkward situation for Rochester, but they get out of it. They have an open net, but they're not able to get the best pass off. And St. Paul will take advantage of it.
That's a huge win. Blake spawns ball side with the boost, tries to go by Zilmi, and Zilmi is a player that stepped up in play-ins, had a very good play-ins performance, had a beautiful double tap in, I believe, their winners final series to go to the qualification match. It might have been the qualification match, I'm not unsure, but still, he stepped up when it mattered the most for the Senators, and it's a reason why they're in LAN group stage, why they're even going to LAN at all, as These three players have been so good all season long, and Owen's looking to fall onto a redirect. Trace loses the challenge. Open net for Rochester. Pops gonna leave it for his best friend End, as End will give the Rhythm a 2-goal lead.
An open net for End after absolutely chaotic situation there from St. Paul. And they're gonna get a 2-goal lead here with a minute left. So this is a very good start for Rochester.
It is. It's a really good start because, you know, like I said before, you want to start off land group stage well, and coming out of playoffs, your momentum from playoffs can carry you through group stage, and it can get you an easier first round matchup. But long clear from Pops, that might just go in. It's not. It's going to go off the backboard. St. Paul having to deal with a lot of overcommitting right now as Zilmi pops for 1, looks for 2, tries to dunk Pops into the net, but not going to happen as he falls away. And Owen across the field, and nobody from the Senators was ready for that. Trish will try to go infield, a long clear downfield. Pops looks for the bump, not going to happen, as End doesn't even have to hit the ball at this point. 26 seconds to go.
Trish, oh, he's not able to get a good touch, and Blakester is going to pre-jump challenge him, and he will score. Just unfortunate here as Trish trying to wrap around it, but he had it driven underneath the ball, unfortunately, and Rochester gonna go up by 3, almost, I mean, pretty much just guaranteeing, pretty much sealing this game number 1, and definitely a good start for Rochester. St. Paul, they're gonna have to pick it up in game 2 because they're definitely not playing their best right now.
They're gonna have to improve in some form, try and win some more challenges. Blake off the backboard won't score it. It doesn't even matter. The ball's gonna drop to the floor. And the Rochester Rhythm will take game number 1. And a very, very beautiful Rochester decal for you guys to look at. But yeah, congrats to them as they're up 1-0. And they looked really good in that first game. Pretty much a commanding challenge game, that's for sure. They did not lose a lot of 50-50s, and I feel like that's going to be the downfall for St. Paul if they don't find an answer.
Yeah, and I mean, also for St. Paul, they are overcommitting, and it really... They've been punished for overcommitting, and on top of that, they really haven't been rewarded that risk for overcommitting or playing too aggressively. And I feel like they kind of need that balance if they want to continue to play like this, because, you know, they do get 8 shots there. They do outshoot the Rhythm, but the Rhythm just...
Too commanding. Just too good.
Efficiency on another level right there for the Rochester Rhythm. The Senators, they're definitely going to need to change their play style quite a bit. Not play more passive, but definitely rotate a bit deeper. You are going to have that third man be so aggressive. It's definitely going to come back to bite you. Once again, if it's going to happen again, it'll be your downfall.
It definitely will be. They're going to have to make a change. And the Rhythm have been so good all season to, you know, like they've been good all season in their challenge game and winning their 50-50s, and it has to do with specifically Blakester. Blakester was a player and challenger that last season gave me a lot of problems, and it was always his challenge game, and I feel like he's brought that to the Rhythm, and the Rhythm have adopted that ability to just win a 50-50 straight up and just challenge the ball straight on. And I feel like the Rhythm themselves are so difficult to deal with because it just seems like every challenge that they make just turns into something that you know, you never have the advantage on if you're playing against them. It's always their teammates are right there to follow up, and their second man positioning is on another level.
Pops able to get back to that one immediately, and St. Paul back on defense. Pops gets the bump. Blakester's gonna be up. It's open. He's got all the time in the world to put it away, and he will. And Rochester will take a game 2 lead.
A very, very quick strike from the Rhythm. 1-0 in this game, 1-0 in this series, and it's a good start for them as Pop's gonna win the kickoff, and Owen will get by one, will work his way out, but End is there again, collects over two, overcommits again for the Senators, continue to shoot themselves in the foot.
You know, and just playing it over Zilmi, and you know, even before that, just gets it past two. Is able to even land on it at the end to make sure that it goes in completely there. So a 2-goal lead for Rochester. And St. Paul, they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. This is a good setup though, but Zilmi double jumps and he's not able to get the ball there. I liked the idea that was there. They just needed to connect with the ball.
They do, they really do. And tries to work his way through the Senators. Owen gets a chance, will put in the open net, will beat out that Rhythm player, and it's 2-1 and a good answer from the Senators as Zilmi Long clears, and Pops didn't make the read in time.
And Pops had decided to play that aggressively. He didn't want to give them much space, but then he had committed to that shot a bit too close. He had, you know, maybe stayed grounded and off of the bottom left post. It's gonna bounce up. It's actually gonna absolutely just 50 that one back into their end was Blakester. But, you know, an aggressive approach on defense isn't always bad, but that time definitely bit Pops right where it hurt the most.
Yeah, it did. It really did. He caught him. He did. What a challenge from Blake again! We'll get the midfield shots, and we'll get the Rhythm another goal back as End's beautiful pass, and Blake beats Owen just cleanly, and that goes right top left. No one from the Sens even close to making that save. 2.5 to go. Rhythm up 3-1, and the Rhythm have looked very good in this series. Wolf, your thoughts for the Senators? What can they do better? Maybe winning some challenges as they're starting to get on offense.
No, well, you know, I think every team, including this one, would be happily placed if the other team had started to make mistakes and they're able to capitalize off of some free mistakes from the other team. But St. Paul right now, they are awkward on their goal line as of now, but I really think that their offense hasn't been looking too bad. They've been able to find each other. It's just that the Rochester offense right now is pinning them so deep into their half, and there's just, you know, like you said, the speed at which Rochester plays, they win almost every challenge. And, you know, they don't always win every challenge, but I swear every time it goes into some favorable position for them, and to make more work out of it, and that's just gonna be a goal. They get the bump though off of a breakdancing defender there.
Yeah, it
Oh no, so
it's just, this is a very, very weird play, that's for sure. That's all I can say about that. That's all I got for a cast for that. But yeah, Senators answer back, and for me, Wolf, I feel like the Senators need to rely on their ability to solo play. They're all three players are very good at possessing the ball, and I think that if they can do that, it's definitely going to lead to more opportunities, because like you see there, they're able to make Rhythm players miss. And a beautiful pass, but End doesn't fall for that trick. Stands his ground, but Zilmi wins the challenge with that big dominus. But flat cars are, well, you're a flat car user, aren't you? You're using a Batmobile for a bit in play-ins, which is a bit weird. I've never seen that before, but
yeah,
since like 2018. But yeah, it literally is cheating.
I didn't have any mechanics that day, so I'm gonna use the Batmobile.
I'm just gonna win every 50. My brother and I always talk about it. Like, if you meet somebody with the Scummobile is what we call it in ones, you pretty much are not gonna win, just because they're gonna win every challenge. They're gonna win every kickoff, and Senator's gonna win that one as they're gonna tie up the game. Owen will get it by End as End goes missing. Blake doesn't read it as well. Still me midfield
Roll-
for Trish.
Broke
But
it.
and then a team rule one, and they're gonna back out of it. And it gets caught, and of course they get punished for it.
That is so unfortunate. You know, they weren't. I don't think they were expecting to be running into each other there, and so they stayed in it for a little bit. It's like, heck, that's my teammate. I got to get back on defense. It's a 1v3. And, you know, Rochester is able to score here after St. Paul was able to rally back 2 goals. Now they find themselves down by 1 once again, and they got 20 seconds to make some magic. What?
What in the world just happened? Like, what? Oh, he shot it out. Wait, oh, just went
No.
off. Oh no, it just went off of Zilmi's car. That's so unfortunate. 5-3, rhythm up 2, looking to go up 2 in the series. They just got to hold on for 19 seconds. Popsicle X will win that challenge, and yeah, I mean, they're just, it's all but over now for the Senators, as they're gonna get caught. Blake doesn't even need to hit the shot, as he's gonna throw up 3 wows in chat and miss the open net, as Trish looks to make the open net, but Blake slams the door. Rhythm up 2.
Yep, and I mean that last goal, you know, we don't see very often where something like as abstract as that happens. But when those do come, a goal is a goal, and so that goes from a chance with about 20 seconds left to making it borderline impossible for the St. Paul Senators to climb themselves back into that game. But 3 for 5, the Senators, the rhythm going 5 for 11, and it's just for the Senators. You know, they're not playing too horribly bad. They kind of just lost it there towards the end. They were kind of rallying from behind most of that game. But for the rhythm to have this constant offensive success, you know, even if St. Paul is producing, is a bit of a problem for St. Paul. You got to find a way to not let the rhythm score 5 goals on you.
Pardon the pun, but you got to take the rhythm out of rhythm, because you're never going to win a game when you're giving up 5 or 6 goals. The best offenses in the world, you know, you talk about former Moist Esports offenses that could put up 4 to 5 goals a game, because that's just how good they were. And, you know, you think of like old NRG, even when Squishy originally joined, they were so good on offense, and they could put up as many goals as they want. But when you're giving up 4 or 5 goals, your offense can only do so much. You know, you can only rely on scoring 4 or 5 goals, but if you're giving up 6, you're gonna lose. And that's exactly what just happened to the Senators. Their offense is there, but they need to shut down the rhythm more. They need to take them out of rhythm, and it's what they need to do.
Here is possibly a chance. Trish is gonna 50 once he lands, but Zilmi stretching backwards to get to that one. Blakester looking to follow it up, gets a great pass out to end. What a dime!
What a pass! As Blake gonna read the double off the backboard, the rebound, and pass it middle for N, and 1-0 rhythm as the Senators are caught again in this game, as the Rochester Rhythm up 1-0, up 2-0 in the series. Blake wins another challenge. Owen tries to go over N, but N doesn't fall for the tricks, and N, you know, I was looking in the Rochester Rhythm Discord, and Dicey, I'm pretty sure, can't make any more graphics that say End is the player of the week, because I'm pretty sure every single week it's been him, as he's gonna score again, his 2nd of the game.
And a chance on defense here for Owen, just doesn't get enough power on that one. And another strong start for Rochester. They're going to go up 2-0 with just a minute gone here in game number 3. St. Paul had a little bit of a chance there off the kickoff, but they're going to need more opportunities like those. They're going to need Rochester to make some mistakes, like kind of like St. Cloud was making in that last series. But right now, the Rochester Rhythm usually don't make mistakes.
Oh my gosh.
And end with a double. He's got a hat trick within a minute 15 of play.
That is just beautiful. That's so quick. Silmi even tried to read it, but he turned the wrong way. And a 3-0 lead for the Rhythm. They looked at 3-0 this series. And going back to those graphics that Dicey made, they are pretty nice for En to look at because he's been player of the week, I'm pretty sure, for the last, ever since he joined. And some ridiculous statistics he had. It was like he was averaging like 2 goals a game the first 5 weeks that he played, and then after that it dropped to like 1.6. But it's like 1.6 is still ridiculous. And for the Rhythm team to be so good with him is just it's just improves their chances of taking down St. Cloud. And if Lord isn't there, this team is they're gonna put up a fight, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna hand St. Cloud their first loss in group stages. And that matchup will happen, I believe, on LAN, but I can check literally right now as I have the schedule pulled up. And yes, that Rising Star group stage match between Rochester and St. Cloud will happen on LAN. So if you're going to LAN, look out for that match because it will be an absolute battle as Pops looks to fake out Trish. 50's there and goes off the bar. Zilmi makes that save. 2:39 to go. Wait, Wolf. You know, the Senators have plenty of time to get back into this game, and they don't have an opportunity, though, as that's going to be cleared away.
They sent everybody, and Zilmi's going to have to backtrack on defense. Reset from the corner. He's going to possibly throw out Owen. End is going to be set up from the mid. Goes for the reset. Doesn't need it. Just is going to double touch it in. End has 4.
Can we go for 5? Because he doesn't even need the reset, gets the double anyways. And yes, this player will end up in Challenger. So if anybody's looking for a really good player in Challenger, I would suggest picking up End and see how well your team does. And what's crazy to me is he's been in Rising Star, and even if the Rhythm, I don't believe, you know, Rochester did auto call in Challengers. Owen's gonna get one back for St. Paul. They're not gonna go away quite yet, but the Rhythm did auto qual in Challenger. But if even then, if they needed a sub throughout the season, you've got End, who is pretty much a Challenger player in his own right.
Yeah, I'd say he's a top Challenger. I'd say there's some arguments for him to even be playing in Premier. I mean, of course, we don't know much. I mean, he's thriving in a Rising Star environment where he's clearly a very talented player.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be excited for him to sub up, you know, in Challenger. I think that team.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I feel like that team could win if they have End on their team. I can honestly see that happening, but Pop's just a clanger.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot. St. Paul gets caught, 2 players. It's 5-1, and you know, I don't want to diss the Rochester Rhythm Challenger team right now, but I feel like if you put End on that team, like at all, they well, they're obviously
they're
going to have an easier time winning. They're going to have more ball pressure as Blakester's going to get a 6th, and I feel like End provides what Rochester, that Challenger team, is missing to win LAN, to be honest. My Bemidji team did have a pretty easy time with them, but we only beat them, I believe, in pretty much every game was a 1-goal game, so it's still a really close series, and it could have gone either way, but, you know, I feel like he would thrive in that environment. Well, I think from the Senators, those are going to get a second one back, but End, I feel like if you put him, you know, in place of Dicey, in place of Slow, in place of Lazzy, it doesn't even matter. That team would be really good. It would, and you know, I don't want to say that's what they need to win LAN, but it certainly would be a good experiment. That's for sure.
Yeah, I had it was almost like kind of a joke to me, but not really. I don't think at the time people thought how good End was, and I'm like, dude, you can have a Challenger spot on my team like right now if Dicey is willing to let him go. But unfortunately, you know, as a GM, I'd probably keep that talented of a player on, of course, a successful team, even if it's not moving up a league.
Reminds me of a young Fusion Bleach. You know, Fusion Bleach isn't, even though he isn't old, he's a rookie, but End is a rookie too. But it just reminds me of a Fusion Bleach kind of style where just seems like he's got the drop on you every single time, and I'm looking forward to playing against that Mankato Atlas team tomorrow night. As Challenger, the group stages tomorrow night, same format, 2 matches, teams play 3 series total, and the Rochester Rhythm are going to start off with a win in their group stage and going to go up 1, as the Senators will more than likely not get a game, and they will be the 4 seed right now as they will move down the list, and the Rhythm will be tied with the St. Cloud Flyers for the 1st seed in their Rising Star group stage.
I mean, it seems like this series can go to either 4 or 5 games if End isn't playing extremely well. And when End is playing well, it's just an added factor of just absolute domination from the Rochester Rhythm. You know, it feels like even with End like not completely showing up,
They still
they still have not the most difficult of times doing well. It's just, I mean, it's just his off-ball play that's developed in some really good habits for him to create space for his teammates. That there's just so much good that's coming out of End on this Rochester Rhythm team. That, I mean, it shows. They go 7 and they beat the Senators 7-2 in the last series, or in the last series we just watched, and they're gonna be definitely a big threat at LAN.
Yeah, I don't want to say that the Rhythm are going to be like unbeatable, but still, what's huge there is the Senators don't get any points. And if you want to win, you know, if you want to do well in group stage, you have to come out of these series with not a 3-0. You have to get games. And they failed to do so against a team that is happily going to take a 3-0 sweep. And it hurts your chances because you don't technically want to be the 4 seed if you've got, you know, Rochester or St. Cloud in the 1 and the 2 position, because you're just going to end up facing them again. And I don't really feel like they want that after that series.
Well, I mean, at least they've got some footage to look at as a team. You know, next time come into it more prepared. That's definitely an upside from getting spanked like that. There's going to be some common issues that you should be able to see, like some common mistakes that you're making as a team. So definitely would want to go over that as a team, of course, before LAN, to make sure that you have the best chance of winning, of course.
Yeah, some changes have to be made for the Senators, but the good thing is, you know, you're gonna play everybody, so you're gonna have, I guess you could say you're gonna have VODs of everybody. You're gonna have, you know, replays, like I just said. You're gonna have the ability to watch back your series, and you're you know, you are going to be prepared for whatever's thrown your way in groups in that semifinal match that's going to come after group stage. So you feel like the changes that you have to make are, I don't want to say easier to do, but you're not going to have to worry about them as much because you know exactly what went wrong in that series. You know what you have to fix. And Rochester just dominated, and they don't look like they have to fix anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, they are definitely a very fast and hot train right now, and they are definitely going to be difficult to stop once they, you know, of course, play at LAN. But, you know, Stewie, any final words for tomorrow before I hopefully don't lose to you in Game 5?
Well, you know, Challenger tomorrow evening, like we were just bantering about, and it should be a fun one because, you know, you've got Rochester again in Challenger auto-qualling. You've got the Bemidji Lumberjacks, the only team from Bemidji to make playoffs at all. And you've got the Minneapolis Miracles, of course, your team, and then the Mankato Atlas, who are, I don't want to say are a mystery to me, but
I feel like whoever plays them, and we play them first on stream at 6 p.m. Bemidji Lumberjacks, Mankato Atlas. Should be a blast, but I feel like you're gonna get a very rude awakening when you play them, because I don't know if you saw, but I saw in the rank update chat, I think it was, but you've got Fusion Bleach up to SSL now, and
Oh god.
it's it's not gonna be fun, that's for sure. But just to give you guys an update on the standings right now, St. Cloud tied with the Rhythm. Technically, both of them are in first, but both 1-0 with 5 points. Miracles 0-1 with 3. Actually, 2, excuse me, that is incorrect. They only got 2 games. I apologize for that. But St. Paul 0-1 with nothing. So the Miracles have a bit of a lead, and possibly could look to move up if they win their next series. But off stream right now, happening at 7:30 in a couple minutes, will be those second series of the evening for all of these teams. So, you know, you're gonna play 2 series tonight, and 2 series each night, and then you play your final series at LAN, and then you move into the final semifinal, grand final bracket play, which are both best of 7s. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, Mr. Wolf. I look forward to our matchup tomorrow evening, which I believe we are playing tomorrow evening. We are. So the matchups for tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. You have the Bemidji Lumberjacks taking the Mankato Atlas, like I said. 6:45 Rochester against you guys, the Minneapolis Miracles, and then off stream Miracles, Lumberjacks, Atlas, Rhythm. So those are the 4 teams in Challenger, and then Premier we will talk about tomorrow night, which will be on Saturday night, and 4 teams there are the Barons, Superiors, Inferno, Victory, and those play-ins were absolutely incredible to watch. So.
Yeah.
Those are only up for a certain amount of time on Twitch, I believe, unless they've already expired. But go watch those matches back, because they were absolutely incredible. But
They're definitely still up. I was looking at them
Yeah.
before I was casting. So.
like, it's just
Yeah, definitely.
oh my goodness, it's just unbelievable. But yeah, we just want to thank you guys for joining us for these 2 short matches, and look out for December 2nd Challenger group stage. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow evening.